Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching a special edition of the Jets Report presented by Prize Picks. Coming up on today's show, myself and Marshall Green, the host of our Giants Now channel here at Chat Sports, we're going to break down everything you need to know about Jets versus Giants, the preseason finale.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? My name is Marshall Green. I'm joined by my guy, Mike Giraputo, the host of our Jets channel here at Chat Sports. And a preseason tradition.
Wow.
Giants, Jets, the Battle of MetLife. Don't you dare say Jet Life. I know you had that one coming right there. But we got a cool video coming up for all of the real ones. We're going to preview this game, more so talk about what I'm looking for and what Mike is looking for in this ball game.
Going to be a fun one here. I am going to call it Jet Life. We're going to be at Jet Life Stadium. The Jets are the home team. Giants are going to be in that away locker room. They could be in shambles before this game even kicks off. Jet Life Stadium should be a good one on Friday night here.
Yeah, we'll be live on both of our channels on Friday for a watch party. So if you're not, hit that big red sub button, subscribe, turn your notifications on, and join us for our final preseason watch party. Preseason's cool until it's not cool, and we are officially at the point where preseason is not cool. I'm ready for regular season football, but the Snoopy Bowl at MetLife, not Jet Life. Mike, though, tell me what you're looking for from the Jets.
So the first thing I'm looking for here is Cade Klubnik. Right? I mean, I think he's going to be the star of this show for the Jets, and there's no doubt about that. Last time out against the Pittsburgh Steelers, got a good look at Klubnik, 10 of 14, 75 yards, but the backup offensive line was in with Cade, and my one main thing with Cade going into this game, can we not put him out there with those guys? I don't love the fact that he was just running all over the place. Even just on Tuesday in practice, took 5 sacks on 13 pass attempt reps. Not really loving what I'm seeing so far out of that backup offensive line there. For Cade, I'm looking to see him consistent mechanics, don't be panicking, and for Frank Reich, build in some downfield shots for Cade Klubnik. This is the last time we're going to get to see him before the regular season, and you're only going to get to see him in that regular season if things were to go badly, right? If Geno were to go down, if Geno were to play poorly, if the Jets are out of contention. So I think at this point, QB2 is locked up. I've been saying it since we drafted the kid. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see him. Last time out, I do think he's the one that's going to play the full first half here for the Jets. I don't really anticipate Geno getting in this game.
I was confused. I watched the first Jets preseason game, and Cade got 3 series in that
2
game? Yeah, didn't even play enough. I thought he looked well. Thought he looked good, and I wanted more. Wanted to see more from Cade Klubnik, but I'm excited to see him play against this New York Giants defense that has played pretty well in the preseason, so that'll be a good matchup there. And that kind of goes right into the thing that I'm looking for the most when it comes to the New York Football Giants, and that's the cornerback position battle. That job, CB1, CB2, it's still up in the air right now. We've seen Deonte Banks look good in joint practice as well as in the preseason game in Week 2 against the Miami Dolphins. We've seen Paulson Adebo start training camp off a little bit slower, but he's coming around a little bit, and he's finding his footing in this new defense led by Denard Wilson. Greg Newsome, he's looked good. And the rookie, Colton Hood, dealing with a little bit of an injury right now. Maybe he's out there for the final preseason game, but I still believe that job of CB1, CB2, it's up for grabs. You'd like for it to be Paulson Adebo, the guy that you gave a lot of money to in free agency a couple of years ago. But what I like that John Harbaugh has done since he's taken over this job is the best players are going to play. It's not we signed Adebo to a lot of money, he's going to play. We signed Greg Newsome, he's going to play. No, the best guy should play, and that's what I'm happy about. That's what I want to see, and I think all of these guys are still in contention to be those starting corners. And Jets receivers, there's some nice players over there, and I'm excited to see what they look like against those guys.
Yeah, I don't know how much we're going to see of Garrett. I do anticipate Omar Cooper. We're going to talk about him a little bit later, but I think this Giants secondary in general, as we get on into the season, they're going to be a lot better than last year, and not just simply for the talent of them, but I do think that front seven being a lot better, going to help them out a lot. But yeah, for the Jets there, you're going to see a lot of A.D. Mitchell. You're going to see a lot of Cooper. Isaiah Williams versus Cooper. Going to get into that a little bit later here.
Yeah, let's do it. And also, before we get there, Malik Neighbors better than Garrett Wilson. We're both in agreement on that.
Oh, man, I can't say that, please, man. I can't go there.
All right, Mike, what else are you looking for in this preseason matchup that we're going to be getting to on Friday night?
Yeah, it's going to be David Bailey and how he's going to continue to progress along right here. And for Bailey, he's the most exciting player on this Jets defense already. We've seen all these reports come out of camp saying, hey, you guys saw Sauce Gardner, you saw Garrett Wilson, even Sheldon Richardson way back in the day. Those guys, how they walked onto that field during training camp, their rookie seasons, and it was like, holy bleep. These guys can absolutely be stars in the National Football League. And for the Jets this season, this is something that I've talked about a lot on my channel here. Defensive line going to be the identity of this football team. Last year was one of the worst in all of football, and I mentioned it there with the Giants, right? Every level of the defense is going to affect the next one. That's why I saw a guy like Sauce Gardner regress in 24 and 25. Well, why was he not playing as well as cornerback? Because the Jets' defensive line was getting any pressure on these opposing quarterbacks. There's going to be a major difference when the quarterback has 2 seconds to throw versus 3 seconds to throw. So I'm looking forward to this defensive line. I'm looking forward to seeing David Bailey again. Got his first NFL sack last week. He was getting held the whole dang time, but looking forward to seeing that Jets defensive line. We got a lot more storylines for you here coming up on today's show. But before we get into all that, got to thank today's sponsor. Those are our good friends over at Prize Picks. Today's show was made possible by Prize Picks. It is time to cash in with our friends at Prize Picks. They're America's #1 sports picks app. They're the best place to win cash while you're watching your sports. The app is super easy to use. All you have to do, just pick more or less on a few player stats, then you lock in your lineup. They got a new social feeds feature. You can share Prize Picks with your buddies, copy lineups with just a single click. Make sure to follow me on there. I'm at Mike Jarapito. You can tell my picks, you can fade me, but get the picks before they're even posted here on the show. Prize Picks now also has early payouts. If your player were to get off to a hot start, you got that option to cash out those winnings before the game even ends. This is a season-long one that I got going right now. $10 to win. 60 got the more on my guy Garrett. Got the more on Ashton Genty. Not too sure about that one now. Got the more on Colston Loveland. And New Year's offer, brand new offer, folks. Player first $5 to get $150 in lineups. If you win, just use code HMA when you sign up. You heard me right. Prize Picks just switched up their offer, so there is no better time to join, lock in, and win that first lineup. That'll be code HMA at sign up to get $150 in bonus lineups if you win that first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right.
I'm excited to see David Bailey in this one. I don't know if rivalry is the right word, but for right or wrong, Arvell Reese and David Bailey will be compared for their entire careers. I know you were a guy that liked Arvell Reese. You also like David Bailey as well. So I'm excited to see him. Want to see what he looks like against these Giants backup offensive tackles who are pretty good. J.C. Davis, left tackle, played every single snap in preseason week 2. He was the highest graded Giant on the offense. And then on the right tackle, Marcus Bowe, he filled in pretty well for Andrew Thomas. So if Bailey does play, he'll be going up against some guys that have shown some pretty good stuff as well. And I don't know if Arvell Reese will play, but it's always exciting when the rookies do play in preseason, and it's always going to be exciting when Odell Beckham Jr. is out there. For right, for wrong, for better, for worse, I'm a fanboy, whatever. I'm rooting for Odell Beckham Jr., and when he is on the football field in New York Giants blue, my eyes, likely your eyes, even if you do not like him, are going to be glued to the TV screen. And unfortunately, we did see this week that Calvin Austin left Giants practice with what is assumed to be a very serious right knee injury. And prayers up for Calvin Austin. But the way the NFL works is next man up. And with Austin, which at the time of recording this video, we don't know exactly what the injury is. Sounds like it is serious, according to Adam Schefter. That opens up a way for Odell Beckham Jr. to have a better chance to make this roster. And I don't think he needs to do anything in this game against the Jets outside of come out of it healthy. I know he dropped that touchdown last week, but the fact that he was open the way that he was, the way he looked on that play on third down where he runs the comeback route, catches the ball, gets north and south, makes a couple guys miss. He's not 22-year-old Odell Beckham, but he is someone that I still think can make an impact, and I'm hoping this isn't the last time that we see him in a Giants uniform. But I'm fired up to watch him. Jameis Winston, really good backup quarterback to have. Going to see those two guys connect a couple of times, but Odell Beckham Jr., someone that I will have my eyes on this week as we are getting a clearer and clearer picture of what this Giants wide receiver depth chart is going to look like. Neighbors going to make the team. Slayton's going to make the team. Fields as well as Mooney, Odell Beckham, and now I think Braxton Berrios is going to be that starting slot receiver for the New York Giants. So OBJ, MetLife Stadium. It's going to be sick.
He's going to get that 90-yard touchdown on a slant. I think we do all know that. It's really one of the cooler stories, even as a Jet fan. It's one of the cooler stories in sports right now. Odell being back with the Giants. It's really cool to see. I'm looking forward to watching him play. Was rooting for him to get that touchdown last week right through his friggin' hands. But it should be interesting right there. So my storyline that I'm looking at, Jason Sanders, does he have that job totally locked up for the New York Jets? So just on Tuesday, the Jets waived kicker Cade York. That battle didn't really seem like much of a battle to me. I mean, I looked at Cade York and I was thinking, this guy's a 73% kicker throughout his NFL career. I didn't really see it happening. Chris Banjo, our special teams coordinator, just saying, yeah, Cade York did not do enough to win the job. Jason Sanders will be our guy. And I'm thinking for Sanders, it's not just him. Look, if he has a brutal game on this Friday, it's the Jets might look to replace him in free agency. Should be interesting there with the New York Jets. And I think for Sanders, all you got to do, bang a couple home, maybe hit a 50-plus yarder. This job is yours for at least a few weeks. But I get flashbacks, Marsh, to certain Jets kickers. I'm thinking of like Kyer Vedvik in week 1. I don't mean to take Jets fans down nightmare lane here, but I'm thinking about like Kyer Vedvik week 1 against the Bills. Should have just paid Nick Folk, but here we are with Jason Sanders.
Was Younghoe Koo on the Jets?
Yes, he was. It was Younghoe Koo. We cut Cade York and Lenny Krieg. So we have a long way to Jason Sanders here.
Oh, man. If you didn't get enough kicker talk, don't worry about it. We're talking about the Giants kicker battle in a little bit. But the backup offensive line, we kind of talked about it when we were talking about David Bailey. I'm going to be looking at that very closely, and maybe not so much the performances of these players, but when are they getting snaps in the game? Because at this point, if you're getting snaps in week 3 of the preseason, late into the third quarter and late into the fourth quarter, the writing is probably on the wall for if you are going to make this team. But a guy like Aaron Stinney, as well as Lucas Patrick and Brian Hudson, Josh Azudu, and I think even Evan Neal, even though it's probably a long shot at this point, are all still competing for maybe that 9th and 10th spot on the Giants' official 53-man roster at the O-line position. Like, jobs are still up for grabs. We saw Josh Azudu look good against the Miami Dolphins on Saturday. But, again, that's the Miami Dolphins, who might not win a single game this year. And we also saw him get hurt at the end of that game. And if you can't stay healthy, which is something that he has struggled with, then you're probably not going to make this team. But J.C. Davis, we saw him in that game against the Miami Dolphins play every single snap. 0 sacks, 0 hits, 0 pressures, 0 hurries, and he graded out very well, according to the boys over at PFF. So excited about Davis. We all believe in Marcus Bowe as a player, and I want to see what they do against a talented New York Jets pass rush as well. I already know this, though. Giants fans?
Yeah.
They're just a little bit better.
No, and there's a reason why Jets fans are far and away better, and it's the fact that we're still here. We're still breathing. Here. I'm still here. It is my job. I've been a lifelong fan of this team. It is my job to talk about this team every day. You know how hard that is? You know how hard that is to do? There's not a lot of other Jets fans out there. My dad has said, Michael, get out. Get out. I'm giving you the chance. Get out of here. No. Clearly NYJ. Type your NYJs.
So clearly we don't agree on this. So you guys decide it. Who's the better fan base? Comment down below and go ahead and let us know your thoughts on that one as we continue to roll here in this Giants-Jets preview. Omar Cooper. I'm ready to watch him play some ball.
Yeah, so am I. But the thing is with Cooper, it's become a little bit of a battle. So I thought when we originally drafted Cooper, 30th overall, we make that trade up to get him out of Indiana. I'm thinking, this guy's easily our wide receiver too. It's just Garrett, A.D. Mitchell was kind of just, to me at that time, it felt like a throw-in into that Sauce Gardner trade. And A.D. Mitchell has had the summer of a lifetime. I've never seen a Jet get this much praise over a summer than A.D. Mitchell. So he's having a great summer. And now it's become, so is Isaiah Williams. And Rich Cimini saying, hey, Isaiah Williams has the chance to leapfrog Omar Cooper. And I'm thinking, what the hell did we just spend a draft pick on? Look, I'm not going to hit the panic button just yet on Omar Cooper, but not the most encouraging reports outside of camp. And I think Isaiah Williams, great chance to win that wide receiver 4 job. Cimini also said on Tuesday that Williams has been the most improved player from year to year at Jets camp, and he said it was pretty obvious. So it's not that I'm rooting against a guy like Isaiah Williams to get those snaps at wide receiver 3, but I'm just thinking, did we really spend a pick on Cooper for him to lose his job to a punt returner, kick returner? Again, not going to panic here. Let's slow our roll just a little bit. I do think Cooper is the locked and loaded wide receiver 3 week 1 of this football team. Just a little bit concerning, Marsh.
Do you think that says more about Cooper or more about Williams at this point?
I think it might just say more about A.D. Mitchell, as weird as that sounds.
I'm an A.D. Mitchell guy.
The fact that they're that far, the fact that Cooper is not even in that hunt for wide receiver 2, but I think it would say more about the improvement of Isaiah Williams. By the way, our Curtis Martin team MVP last year.
Okay.
Isaiah Williams. That's who wins MVP on a 3-14 ball club.
That's why you tune into week 3 preseason right there. Shout out to that. And we're going to go to our kicker battle as well for the New York Giants, and it's been nothing but good stuff here. I know that Dominic Zvada has been the much better kicker than Sauls in practice, but in games, Ben Sauls has been money, and Dominic Zvada has been money as well. So both these guys have showed in-game situations that they've been able to come through and be successful, and I do think that Zvada is the guy that's running away with the job, but the last thing you want to do is trip on the finish line of trying to win a starting position. Like, let's say the New York Giants go out there and they have to settle for a handful of field goals, and Zvada maybe misses one or misses two. That's going to create a different conversation and a different dialogue about who that kicker should be. And I could say this confidently. I am tired of losing football games because of kickers. The Giants have been doing that far too long in the last handful of years. And with John Harbaugh, he takes special teams serious. And what I like to say is, if you don't take special teams serious, cough, cough, Brian Dable, you're going to be an unserious football team, and that's what the Giants have been. So excited that we have two kickers who are actually good. And it's not Graham Gano, who's 39 years old and hurt and didn't even have to participate in training camp last year.
Yeah, why is it that every year for us that we don't know who our kicker is on August 27th?
It's because we're
kind of getting tired of it, Marsh.
What is it, the last 10 years?
Just about.
We have one more win than y'all, or y'all have one more win than us? I'm not exactly sure.
I think it might be a half a game. I feel like there's
a
tie in there.
We have a tie.
There's the half a game. Good Lord. All right. Final thing I'm looking at here is the battle for the Jets between not only safety, but that cornerback 2 spot. So I'm going to start out with that safety spot right next to Minka Fitzpatrick. Right now, seems like it's down to Dane Belton, the former Giant, and Andre Cisco. I think Cisco did enough to play him into that, at least more into that competition, because all Jets fans and all I've been hearing all offseason is the fact that Dane Belton looks very, very good.
Say, how's he looking? I forgot he was a Jet.
Looks amazing. I mean, according to reports,
he's a ball hawk.
I'm not there. I'm not there at training camp, but supposedly looks really good. Kind of played Malachi Moore out of this discussion. And for cornerback, that CB2 battle between Nashawn Wright and AZ Thomas, I had originally thought it was going to be Nashawn Wright, no doubt. Paid him 1 year, $5 million, the 5 interceptions last season. I don't think I have to remind Jets fans, not a single interception for this defense last year, so there's a clear intention on bringing in Nashawn Wright. But I do think as of right this moment, I'm taking Dane Belton and I'm taking AZ Thomas to win these jobs for the New York Jets. And Belton, I don't know, last year...
Look, I say it half jokingly, he is like a turnover machine. He is the guy that... Call it lucky, call it whatever you want. He is somehow always in the right spot at the right time. Fumbles bounce his way. Tipped passes bounce his way. I like Dane Belton. I would have liked to see him keep him. I actually forgot he was a New York Giant, so I'm looking forward to watching him.
Well, he's a Jet now, so nothing's going to bounce his way.
I will say, 2 interceptions last week for the Jets. Is the streak over, or are we not counting?
I don't know if we can count it. Despite my reaction on live, I don't know if we can count that. I'm not sure. It's been a long time coming for the Jets. Last real one was Week 18 against Miami in 2024. Good God, I cannot wait for Week 1.
Who was the quarterback for Miami in that game? Do you remember?
I don't think it was Tua. Man, was it Skylar Thompson?
I feel like that
could have been
out.
Tua. I'd have to look back. Put me on the spot there.
I'm sorry. We didn't prepare that. We're keeping it authentic. Last thing that I'm going to be having my eyes on for, and I wanted to mention this last because only the real ones are watching at this point, so we don't have all the losers in the comments. But Marshall, Tyrone Tracy, he continues to just shoot himself in the foot. Preseason game number 1, doesn't pick up a block. Jackson Dart gets obliterated and then once again has to go to the Blue Medical tent for them to tell him he does not have a concussion. The very next week, Tyrone Tracy on a fumble, which he does not get touched. It just squirts out of his possession. So not doing himself any favors at this point. And the New York Giants just released their unofficial depth chart for this upcoming Giants-Jets game. And RB1 was Cam Scadaboo. And then RB2A, RB2B, and RB2C, Tyrone Tracy, Devin Singletary, as well as Najee Harris, who was getting first-team reps at practice this week. I think it's also key to remember, going into the first preseason game for the Giants, it was Tyrone Tracy 1A and Cam Scadaboo 1B. So he has seen himself get demoted by this coaching staff. And look, I like Tyrone Tracy, and I am rooting for him, but it doesn't matter. If you can't block and you can't hold on to the football, a coach like John Harbaugh is not going to put up with that. And I'm thankful we have a coach like that. At the end of the day, there's talent there, back-to-back 1,000-yard all-purpose seasons for Tracy. But if you can't do the little things, man, you're not going to play for a coach like John Harbaugh. So hoping he gets some opportunities, hold on to the football, pick up your blocks and pass protection, and I think you'll solidify yourself on the roster. I think he is, but he's making it really, really hard on himself right now, Mike.
Yeah, in terms of stock down players for the Giants, I'd assume he's maybe number one.
Yeah, number one.
That's what it seems like.
And look, he's a guy that I like. I think he's someone that's actually like a good complement to a guy like Cam Scadaboo because I'm not going to go, thunder and lightning, but they do have like contrasting styles which I think can help. But at the end of the day, if you're getting beat out by Devin Motor Singletary, no disrespect to my guy Motor and the big 2-6, that's usually not very good there. Anything you're looking for out of the boys in blue?
It's Odell Beckham. It's Odell Beckham. I'd like to see him, do a little bit of something. I'd like to see him challenge our cornerbacks, like get involved with that cornerback 2 battle for the Jets between A.Z. Thomas, Deshaun Wright. Definitely Odell Beckham, as well as the kicking battle is always entertaining, just watching it from a neutral standpoint, seeing guys like shank 38-yarders. When they're not on your team, it's a lot funnier. Hopefully something like that, but really, my main thing here is going to be Odell Beckham Jr. Let's see how David Bailey lines up, maybe against that backup offensive line. Should be pretty entertaining if that's the case there for Bailey.
Yeah, I don't know if the starters are going to play. The Giants didn't really play any of their high-profile guys in Week 2 against Miami, but kind of the last tune-up before you're ready to go Week 1 against the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football. I'll be watching for Cade Klubnik. I'm a fan of him. As you guys know, I was raised in Texas, and he is a Texas high school football legend. And I want to see him go out there and sling the pill a little bit. And I'll ask you this question, which I did not tell you I was going to ask you. 2.5 starts for Cade Klubnik, over, under, or more or less?
Ooh, man. I'm going to go with the less. Oh, man, that's really tough. It just depends on how the Jets are doing, right? I think a lot of this, and I've seen people get some pushback for this, some other Jets creators get some pushback for this, but Week 1 for the Jets, as dumb as this sounds, it's a must-win. If you go out there and lose Week 1, I swear to God, this locker room, I'm not going to say it's going to be lost because you brought in guys like Demario Davis, Minka Fitzpatrick, Onyemata, all these veteran leaders, but Week 1 is crucial for the Jets. If we win Week 1, I would go less than 2.5 games. If we don't, I would definitely go with the more on 2.5 games. So kind of a cop-out answer there for me, but
it's fair.
It's a tough one to answer there.
Look, I did that same song and dance last year. Oh, yeah, Russell Wilson, he'll play till Week 9. After Week 2, they lose the Cowboys. I did a video Monday. The Giants should trade him. And they didn't trade him, but they did bench him after one more game. So all these things are fluid, and the good thing about it is we'll both be breaking it down every single week. So if you watch this far into the video, that means you at least liked something that you saw. So please subscribe to the channel. Free Jets content every day, free Giants content every day. And I'm looking forward to Friday. We'll be live on our channel. So join us. Final preseason game, and it's real NFL season.